Hello and welcome back to HardReset.Info. In this video, I will show you how to fix battery drain on the VIVO X300. Let's begin. And luckily for us, this video doesn't really have to be very long, because Vivo actually went and gave away all important settings just in one single place. And we can find them if we scroll down into settings, then battery, and then we have something called power saving management. And as you can see here, we have all the settings we really need, and we can starting off with the auto turn on battery saver. Now the battery saver itself is a whole other can of worms, yeah, I think that's how we say it, and it will basically just save your battery even further, which we can enable by just going here into battery usage and just going with that bar slightly lower. So as you can see, we can only have two different modes, like you can't have this in the middle between battery saver and balance. It will automatically snap out into one or other, but having this enabled automatically is very useful, and luckily for us we can just do that by enabling this, and then you can choose the threshold in which the auto turn on battery saver will actually turn on. So currently it will turn on whenever my battery drops below 50%, and I think that's pretty cool. Now we have the other setting that comes into pair, and it's the battery saver auto turn off, which will automatically turn off a battery saver. And as you can see, it will not be resumed if the battery level is above 60 when charging ends, or when the battery level starts above 60 and reaches 100. So you can enable this, but I'm going to keep this disabled just in case. Now we have something very important, and it's the Shorten Auto Lock screen time. Now of course, if you don't really like having this set on like 30 seconds, well, that's completely okay. We can go into our display brightness and eye protection, and inside here we have the auto lock. As you can see, it is set to 10 minutes, which means that if I would just go away and leave the phone like that, it would still be on for more than 10 minutes, and that's just too much of battery power wasted, just showing nothing to no one. So I would advise you to keep that generally low. For example, 1 minute is usually okay, and it's usually enough, because, like, generally speaking, the lower the value here, the lower the battery usage. Anyway, we can go back to battery settings and saving management. So if you want, you can just enable this or manually lower down the values yourself. Now we have the reduced screen refresh rate, and this is something very important that many people miss apparently. Because usually you have your refresh rate set between 60 and usually 100 or 120, but truth be told, if you're not used to it, you will probably not really see a difference. So if you enable this, not only will you still have a relatively fast response speed and just general great look of your device, but you will also have half the refresh rate, which means that your screen will get half the battery that it needs to, and the other half can be spent however you please, which is very cool. And lastly, we have also turn on dark mode, which will do what it says it will do. So it will automatically enable the dark mode whenever the battery saver is on. However, for even greater battery drain fixing, I would just advise you to go into your display brightness and eye protection right now, go into the dark mode settings, and we can just enable it in here, and we can also technically go into scheduled switch. So if you don't want, you can always make it so it's automatically changing, but like, why does it help with the battery? And that's actually pretty easy. First of all, whenever you input what's I'm talking about whenever you change the pixel brightness, well, every single white pixel, or just generally speaking every single bright pixel, is going to get used by more battery, because it's just whiter, and yeah, it just needs to have more battery in order to display itself. However, we can, if we switch from light to dark modes, then majority of our pixels on our screen are darker, which means that they aren't really using as much battery as they used to before, and your battery is just literally fixed like this. Seriously, Technically we could go even further by, for example, going into our background power control, and as you can see, you can manually make sure that like Facebook doesn't really do anything in the background. It's completely fine, but generally speaking, all of these settings should be enough to make your battery drain go away. Wait, well, that was actually a lie, was it? Nice. Anyway, that's all for this video. If you found it useful, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and if you have more tips and tricks for battery drain fixes, make sure to share them down in the comments below. Anyway, that's all from me. Thanks for watching, and as always, see you next time.